Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Multiara Ramadani, Class A, Department of English Literature, and today I will resume about structuralism and post-structuralism. Structuralism proposes that the words must be understood. So structure, as an example, let's take language. Language must be understood as the structure because individual words get their meaning because of the structure. Structuralism emphasizes the idea that truth and really must be identified within the structure. Ferdinand de Saussure. Structuralism derives from the words of the Swiss linguist Ferdinand de Saussure. Ferdinand de Saussure. Structuralism derives from the words of the Swiss linguist Ferdinand de Saussure, 1857 to 1930, was 1906 to 1911 lecture at the University of Geneva, where published visit on student record in 1916 as called the Linguistic General. Saussure defines linguistic as unity of sound, image, signifier, and concept signifier. The signifier is the visible aspect of a sign, the psychological imprint of a word, sound, or the impression it makes on one's sense. Claude Lévi-Strauss. It was Claude Lévi-Strauss who pioneered structuralism. This can be understood as an approach that highlights the existence of a structure in phenomenon. According to him, language is a made up of arbitrary elements. These elements do not have any individual meaning. It is through the system that this element derive meaning. Roland Barthes. Barthes argues that this relationship, which is an act of signification, is the result of collective contact, and within a certain time, the relationship becomes naturalized. In mythology, Barthes conducts an ideological critique of various products of bourgeois mass culture, such as soup, at 37 Image of Rome, in an attempt to discover the universal nature behind this. Barthes illustrates the world of the myth with the image of a young Negro soldier saluting the French flag, which appears on the cover of a Paris magazine, where the denotation is the French is militaristic, and the second order meaning is that France is great country. Post-structuralism. Post-structuralism is the name given in the English language, philosophical and literary community to the ideas of several French philosophers whose work emerging is a clear philosophical response to the peculiarities of human science that characterize structuralism. Jacques Derrida. Jacques Derrida in 1930 to 2004 was the founder of deconstruction, a way of criticizing not only literary philosophical texts but also political instruction. Although Derrida has a cautionary experience, regrets about the fate of the word deconstruction. His popularity shows the wide influence of his thought in philosophy, in literary criticism, and theory, art and particular articultural theory and in political theory. Foucault's broader project is to understand his view of power. Foucault's analysis of power as simultaneously articulate at two levels, the empirical and the theoretical. The first level is constituted by the detailed examination of historical specific models of power and how those models emerged out of early form. Post-structuralism, on the other hand, is critical this foundation of structuralism. According to post-structuralism, there are no rules or truth. As such, elements have to be understood as cortical. This article attempts to highlight the difference between the two movements, thought and understanding of each movement. Unlike structuralism, which took the idea of the existence of a structure, post-structuralism rejects this. They believe that in order to understand something, it was necessary to study not only the subject itself, but also the system of knowledge. Science can be necessary to study Unlike structuralism, which took the idea of the existence of a structure, post-structuralism rejected this. They believe that in order to understand something, it was necessary to study not only the subject itself, but also the system of knowledge. Since it can be misinterpreted, the foundation for this way light by the idea of Ferdinand de Sources, Claude Lévi-Strauss, and Jacques Derrida. Post-structuralism is believed as historical, whereas structuralism is believed to be descriptive. This because post-structuralism engages in analysis historical to understand concepts.